I am doing developmental psychology. So what makes developmental psychology? So these are the steps I'm going to be explaining what makes that up. So first, human development, biological, social, emotion, cognitive processing. I'm also going to go over 3 important individuals who came up with developmental psychology. So, what is developmental psychology? So, I was all over the internet trying to find what's the simplest term for us to all understand in a 20-minute video. So, I liked this definition the best. The study of developmental psychology is essential to understand how humans learn, mature, and adapt. Human development is more obvious in infancy and in childhood, yet development is currently happening right now and will continue to happen for the rest of your life. Today and your future depends on your genetics, the environment, culture, and relationships, and the more you continue through each phase of your life. So I'm going to go over human development. The first stage would be germinal stage, and that's week 1 to week 2. Conception is the beginning of germinal stage. This stage occurs during the first 2 weeks of development. The union of the sperm and egg cell forms a single cell called a zygote. The zygote moves along the fallopian tube towards the uterus. The second stage is the embryonic stage. The embryonic stage is the stage in which all major organs and structures are growing and being formed. The next step is the fetal stage. The fetal stage is the last day of the 8th week after fertilization and continues until birth. This stage is very important, and the embryo begins to grow and becomes a fetus. Then it starts developing the organs and tissues. The next step is infancy to childhood. A newborn weighs approximately 7.5 pounds. A newborn is not completely helpless because its reflexes and sensory capacities help it interact with the environment from the moment of birth. All healthy babies have newborn reflexes. Reflexes help newborns survive until it is capable of more complex behaviors. These reflexes are crucial to survival. They are present in babies whose brains are developing normally and usually disappear from 4 to 5 years old. Next is physical development. Infancy, toddlerhood, and early childhood, the body's physical development is rapid. On average, newborns weigh 5 to 10 pounds, and the newborn's weight typically doubles in 6 months and triples in 1 year. By the 2 years old, the weight has quadrupled. We can expect that 2-year-olds should weigh up to between 20 to 40 pounds. Biological. What do biological children sometimes act like their parents because of genetics or because of early childhood environment and what the child has learned from the parents? We all are born with specific genetic traits inherited from our parents, such as eye color, height, and certain personality traits. So emotional and social are on one slide. So for Erickson's stages, this is the development of tasks that involve social and emotional development for children and teenagers who continue into adulthood. So there are 8 stages: hope, will, purpose, competence, fidelity, love, care, and wisdom. So for number 1, this is the period of infancy to 1 to 2 years old of life. This is when the child is well cared for, is loved, nurtured, and this is when he or she develops trust, security, and children who are neglected become insecure and mistrustful. Stage 2, will. this stage of life occurs in the early childhood between 18 months to 4 years old. And this is when the child is sure of himself. He or she is independent. And for the child in this early stage of life, this is when they are going through their tantrum, stubbornness, and when they are finally figuring out how to say no and do everything the opposite what the parent wants. Stage 3 is purpose. And for a healthy developing child, this is when they learn imagination, fantasy, learn how to cooperate with others, lead as well as follow. This is when they are starting to have guilt or be fearful. So competence. So this is school age, and this is when the child learns to master more formal skills of life. And this is with relating with peers, having structure with rules, and learn how to have teamwork. This is when the students are now mastering social studies, reading, math, and homework is a necessity. And this is when they are building self-discipline. Fidelity is from 13 to 20, and this is when the adolescent is asking, who am I? And this is a time when they are maturing and developing into a young person and trying to find self-identity. And the adolescents are now seeking leadership and are gradually developing ideals to who they want to be. Love, this is the age of a young adult, and this is when they're experiencing true intimacy, such as a good marriage or a genuine friendship. The next stage is care. In this stage, both the sense of marriage, parenthood, and in the sense of working productively and creatively. The next stage is wisdom. The mature adult develops the peak of adjustment integrity. He or she trusts and is independent and dares to try new things. He or she works hard and found a well-defined role in life and has developed a self-concept in which he or she is happy. There is rapid growth in children, and they also show a significance of development in their cognitive abilities. Between the age 3 to 5, children can understand that people have thoughts, feelings, beliefs that are different from their own. Children use theory of mind. By using this skill, children are able to tease each other, persuade their parents on buying them their favorite video game, and understand why siblings might be angry. When children develop this skill, they recognize that others have false beliefs. Cognitive skills continue to expand in middle school and late childhood. This process begins to allow the children to be more logical and organized when dealing with concrete information. Children at this age understand concepts such as past, present, future, and giving them the ability to plan and work towards goals. So here are some 3 theories of development from 3 psychologists. So Jean believed that children think differently than adults and that they go through 4 stages of cognitive development. Lev, his theory is that social interaction plays a major role in cognitive development. And we have John, and that he believed that children came into this world with biological pre-programmed.